You're listening to the Practical Tax Podcast with tax attorney Steve Moskowitz.
Joining us right now is Casey Hasten. She is Director of Recruiting at wearevip.com. Casey, great to have you here. Thanks.
Hello. How are y'all today?
We're great. Casey, let's start with this question. Unemployment numbers are steady, but we just can't seem to get good people to fill positions in the workplace. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I do for a living is I help businesses find good people to, join their team. Interestingly, and, I didn't realize we were officially in a recession because I'm not an economist and so I pulled the jobs report that I think it just came out today, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you guys have seen this. And I believe we exceeded expectations. We added almost 375,000 more jobs.
Good job.
Yeah. And so even before, for every person out there looking for a job, there were two jobs. Now there's like 2.25. So I think this is why you're seeing that unemployment go down. But I do want to say one of the trends that we've seen recently, because we work with companies from your small mom and pops to Fortune 500s. Those are our clients, right? Across all industries. This last week, we've started to see a little turn. You hear Tesla's starting to lay off, right? He said he's going to reduce his salaried positions by 10%. But, and that's like, okay, that's Tesla. That's way out there, right? We don't have to worry about that. We had 3 clients this week pull back their searches and tell us that they had a hiring freeze.
Well, you know what, Casey? My mind always goes back to taxes. If you give me an ice cream cone, I'll somehow think about taxes. But you're talking about hiring, and the government both takes money from us, but they give a lot of money away.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they're giving to employers is a credit for hiring certain groups of people, like veterans, the people who've been unemployed for a while, and a laundry list of people. They'll give the employer up to $9,600 per employee. So imagine some restaurant that says, I can't be open my full hours because I don't have enough people. Well, what if they hired 10 people under these circumstances? They could get up to $96,000. What a difference that would make. And you know what? For the most part, the big businesses know about this, but the small businesses, I bet you never heard about it. But that $9,600 a head would make a big difference to them.
Absolutely. And I didn't know about that. I'm going to share that with some of my clients.
Well, you see, that's the thing about being a tax attorney. I've dedicated my life to this minutia. And what I've said to Chip is the big companies have an army of people like me who say, do this and don't that. Think of it like this. You walk, I call it the magic business card. If I gave you a magic business card and said, Casey, take this down to the IRS and they'll give you $1 million, I bet you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Suppose I took that magic business card, I put it in the back of a dump truck, stirred it up with 1 million other business cards, regular business cards, and dumped it all in your office. You walked in and said, oh my God, look at this mess. I'll have somebody just haul this out of here so I can get back to work. You didn't know the $1 million business card was there. You threw it away. That's what small businesses do. We know where the magic business cards are. We say, wait, over here, take this one, now throw the rest of them away.
But even if you give a company a tax break, if there's no increase in demand, are they still going to go out and hire people?
Chip, when you talk about increased demand for products, that's why we have marketing departments and sales and research. Oops, there we go, R&D, research and development credit. The government gives you more money to research. And I can't help it, Casey. Chip just sits back because he's put up with years of this with me. You're new, you're just getting it today. But what happens is you say, okay, so the government gives you some more money, and you say, you know what? Here's a product that you can use, or here's an improvement in a product. Look at all the cars. We didn't really need more cars, did we? But all of a sudden, we have all these electric cars. Why is that? Well, look at the electric cars when they first came out. Look at them now. So the bottom line is you go into an area where there was lots and lots and lots of cars, but somebody said, you know what? We need to make more cars, but we'll make these different. And we'll have an advantage here. And look at them now with the prices of gas going up and up. More and more people that thought they'd never do it are now looking at that electric car.
Steve, how does the government or the IRS feel about the hustle economy or the gig economy?
So that works both ways, because the government would like to see everybody be an employee because taxes are withheld and reported to the government. the reason the government is so against 1099s is that a lot of people that don't have taxes withheld just don't file returns and just don't pay taxes. It's wrong. It's illegal, but the government has to hunt them down one by one. So the government really prefers employees to independent contractors. However, ever since the pandemic, the side hustles have just jumped up because all of a sudden somebody's home now and they say, well, wait a minute, I'm home anyway. I can do such and such. And, my employer just shipped my job overseas and I don't want to go back in the office and do that, but I can do this, or I like having a job and I like having the benefits, but for whatever reason, either I'm not getting enough money or I just want to put some away or I want to pay off some debts, whatever. I pick up the side hustle. So I see both areas are going to grow.
Casey, I know you work with, companies trying to find people, but people also come to you as well. Are they looking for full-time jobs or side hustles?
So, okay. So I'm going to address the W-2 versus the 1099 first, because I think that's really interesting. We just had a conversation in the office as a whole about this. We have 3 different pillars within our organization. We have the direct hire side, which is where I sit. So I'm your W-2. If you need a W-2 candidate or talent, you're going to come to me. We have our contract to hire, which that's going to be your 1099, but they're actually not 1099s because they go on our payroll. We pay their wages on behalf of the company. Of course, then we add a burden and all that kind of stuff so that we make our money off of it.
And that's popular with a lot of employers too, because you take care of all the hassles.
Yes. And so, but they're still getting reported as employees. And then we have our solutions, which doesn't really apply to this. So, but it's just think long-term projects. So what we're seeing, we just had a contractor convert to full-time. So they went off our payroll, went onto the client's payroll permanently. And we were sitting there looking at the number of contractors that we had out. We had like 10% of the number of contractors that we would normally have this time of year out on assignment. And that's huge. And so here's what the point I'm trying to make with this is that right now, I don't think companies really have a choice for the most part between whether or not they want to hire somebody W-2 or contract, because this is still, for whatever reason, it's a candidate's market, and the candidates are demanding that they get those direct hire roles along with the benefits that come with them.
Casey, are there enough jobs in this country for people who want full-time employment, and their shot at the American dream?
Yes, absolutely.
What about benefits? With benefits?
Now, that's another story, because a lot of those jobs are going to be at your more of your non-professional roles. And I'm sure you know this too, Steve, that they are more, think about your retail, like your Starbucks, your Walmart, your malls, those kind of things. And those places don't always typically offer benefits. I believe, and I don't know the statistics, but I think Walmart typically, when they hire W-2s, they hire them part-time.
Right.
That's to keep away from the benefits. And
Yes.
Chip, what you were saying earlier, it all goes hand in hand because there's an awful lot of jobs available at the lower echelons. A lot of pizza needs to deliver, a lot of, tables needed to be waited on. At the higher echelons, it's a whole different story. So we can't really look at the job market. It's more meaningful to look at the segments.
Yes, I agree.
Casey Hasten, you were awesome. Will you come back again and join us on Practical Tax?
Oh, absolutely.
You're listening to the Practical Tax Podcast with tax attorney Steve Moskowitz.